I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to the newest edition of Once a Week. I'm Giannouloudis, and guys, today we have a very special guest, a former teammate of mine. You saw another one a couple weeks ago, but guys, we have Stephen Wahome here. He is a Bridgewater State alumni with a bachelor's in management, and he didn't stop there. He took his talents to UMass Lowell, where he got his master's in business administration. And now, Stephen, I was researching you for this video. You've held so many jobs in the management roles. I couldn't put any out there because I'm like, he knows it all. He's got all this knowledge. So guys, today's video, we're going to bring so much to you guys, and Steven's got the knowledge for it. I'm so happy he's here. Steven, welcome to the show. Welcome to Once a Week. It's great to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell me, in everything that you're putting out there now, you've stepped into the startup game.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the startup game to you? What's startups?
So the startup game to me is just, I guess the best way I put it is putting yourself out there to build something from the ground up.
Yeah.
So like I said, I went to Bridgewater for management, took my talents to UMass Lowell for a couple of years. I grew up there actually.
Nice, yeah, there you go.
So
that's awesome.
I took my MBA at UMass Lowell. And during the MBA, one of my co-founders now, Nick, who's a musician, who started Jamfuze with, he had this idea when he was brewing for a couple of years with me. And then I was just in the MBA class, and I was just like, why don't we just, I'm learning about theory, why don't we just put it into practice?
Exactly.
So kind of just one of those things, you make a decision and you just go for it.
Exactly.
Don't think twice, don't second guess yourself.
Yeah.
If you have an inkling of what you want to do, just go do it. And startup could be very broad. It could be business. I know musicians in that aspect as a startup. So anything could be a startup as long as you're taking it for foundation and just you building it up.
100%. Yeah. See, I love that because people look at startups. It's strictly business perspective.
Yeah.
But like you just said, that could be anything. My stuff is a startup just because I found the tools. I had a dream, a goal. I'm like, nothing's gonna stop me. I gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then we were talking before the video. We're going on year 4 now. That was just building a foundation, aka creating a startup. Yeah. So tell us, like you mentioned Jamfuze. What is Jamfuze?
So Jamfuze is a platform for musicians and then the service providers. So for example, we're creating a marketplace. So if I was a musician, and so this is where the problem is. If I'm a musician and I'm looking for a studio, I'll go on one website. Yeah. And then right after that, if I'm looking for a videographer to shoot my video, that's another website. Okay. If I'm looking for beats for my music, that's another website. Yeah. So, and I give credit to, my co-founder Nick, and he said, he's a musician, he's like, hey, we struggle with this all the time, and we're kind of brewing up ideas, and I think we just came up with like, why don't we just combine it all? Yeah. So it's just a marketplace for unsigned musicians to find all the services they need. So if they're looking for a videographer, it's on our page. If they're looking for a beat person, it's on our page. If you're looking for a show, we have a studio. We got a show page where they list all the shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're still in what we call just the version 1 stage. Yeah. So it's right now we're just connecting unsigned artists to studios. Okay. So if they want to record something. Nice. In a month we got the version 2 coming out, and now it has all the actual services that everybody's
really.
Yeah. Right now we're 1,000 users. Yeah. No marketing has been done. It's just been Facebook.
Word of mouth, everything.
Yeah, word of mouth with Facebook, and that's when you're onto something, when you're not really even trying to publicize it. Yeah. And it's just all the people who use it are coming onto it.
Exactly.
So I enjoy it. It's been, I think, right around 3 years. So I think I finished my MBA like a year ago. Yeah, so it's gonna be going on 3 years now.
No way. Yeah. Look at that, right? It sparks.
Yeah, it sparks. I think we're kind of on the same path,
Yeah, exactly. And then talk about, like, you build it from the foundation. Like, you guys, that's the coolest thing with startups, I find, where if you have an idea or you have a problem, like your buddy's a musician, he's got a problem, like, I got to go here, I got to go here, I got to go here. You guys just got together and said, you know what if there was one place? Yeah. There's your idea. Yeah. That's your foundation. And then you guys started building everything around it. Guys, that's a startup. That's if you have an idea, you got a goal or something, start with the one idea. What is it that you need? could you be the one to bring it to people and then just let it grow?
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned Jamfuze, but in other aspects, you have created a very prominent social media life.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, because you got information on startups everywhere.
I do. I got it on LinkedIn. I got it on Instagram, Twitter. I don't touch Snapchat that much. But that's also something I'm working on. But it kind of generated in the fact where I was just knee deep in all this startup stuff and MBA stuff and everything that was just revolving around business or that nature. And it just happened to be something will pop up on social media. Like, I think somebody would see an article that I did at UMass Lowell or something. And it became, people started asking me questions. Okay, so what's the first thing when you do with startups? How do you find a developer? When do you do a business plan? And I was kind of just answering off these one-off questions. And one night I was just sitting back in my house. I think it was on a Friday night. I wasn't even going anywhere. And I'm a big person where I like to see people who are in the same stage or maybe a few steps higher.
I get that.
I like to see what they're doing. So I follow this guy John Henry on Instagram. Big startup guy. Now he's into real estate. And what he does, he just puts out free content. Everything that he's learned, he's just putting it out there.
That's awesome.
So in my way, I was like, okay, so to answer all these questions, I could keep doing the one-off, or I could just make a video series covering all these topics that I think are relevant to the startup space based on me starting here to where I am now. And one thing I like to tell people, because I've had people who resonated with the content, and this obviously, when you put yourself out there, there's going to be people who give you, I won't call it negative, but they might question.
Oh, the doubters.
Yeah, the doubters. They might question something about you. And I think we're talking this off camera was, I'm just taking what is happening right now, or I've started or I've done, and I'm just spewing it out there. I haven't built a $1 billion company, but I've built something where it's actually out live to people. So if you have any questions between starting to live and getting users, I'm going to give you the information. And what I would love to do is, in maybe say 5 to 10 years, is come back to those videos. And I want to see like, okay, I was right there. Or, okay, maybe that was a learning lesson where if you tweak it, now I'm not contradicting myself. It's just like, hey, I was learning in the process, and I just gave you something, and then I found out maybe later, like, okay, that was, maybe we could tweak it here, but there'll be another video for that one. So.
Definitely. No, and that's funny because that's the way it goes, especially with startups, but anything you're going at. Because, we mentioned before the video started where, like, the Once a Week series is going on year 4. Going back, like, the start of that, I can't watch those videos anymore because I sit there and I'm like, oh my goodness, man. And
what's I doing with my hands?
Right? Exactly. What do I do with my hands? But like looking back at those videos, I can see where practice was needed. And like we talked about this where whenever I post a video, it was no longer for what people thought because doubters came left and right. Like, you should quit. There's no reason for you to do this. Random people never heard before saying just spewing stuff on my page. I'm like, thanks, man. Like, what else do you want me to say? But one, if you can get through that with your goal, a startup, whatever it is, you can make it. Because you have an idea that you're not willing to give up on. 2, the doubters mean nothing. 3, if you can just focus on where you're at, which is what you're doing, where, I can give you the information from here to here. Focus on that. You're going to learn more to help them get here to here. And it's just going to build. And that's exactly what you're trying to bring to people. Which, guys, I'm going to put his pages at the end of this video, but he's got the knowledge for you, and you can take it with business, you can take it anywhere else, because it resonates in so many different areas. But you've created something from the ground up, and I think that's exactly what our message is today. But also, something that I really want to point out, in just going over your story, going over us in college and everything, it starts when you have your peers around you. Some people start on their own and their peers come afterwards, but building with your peers is something that I think you have really taken hold of and you found ambition in that. So explain that to us.
And it's I kind of connected the dots backwards, really. So like when I say watching people on Instagram who are around that same stage I am, or maybe a few steps higher, and taking motivation from them. So that's where kind of that I don't want to look at which I still read about, like the Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. It's just so you can't really connect.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's really out there, but
Exactly.
you could really connect with that person who's right at where you are, or maybe a few steps higher. So that's where it's been a lot of motivation, because it's easier if you message somebody who's one of your peers or around what you're trying to do. It's an easier way you can actually connect with them, where they will actually respond to you of that nature. So you can actually get the collaborations very quickly. And number two, going back to connecting the dots backwards, I've been doing cross country and track my whole life. And that is in its plainest forms, building with you.
Exactly.
So, right?
So
that's
true.
just like, it's so plain. Like in cross country, it was like we had to, train with the same people all the time. You have to build from day one. When we're trying to get to championships, and the only way we could do that is we got to work together. And make that happen.
Exactly.
And you took that into track when we actually now it's a bigger team, and you have to build with those other types of peers. And it goes really well in business, because I was a long distance guy. Right. So, but in order for us to win, we had to make sure you guys are doing really well, right? We had to make sure the jumpers are doing really well. We had to make sure the pole vaults are doing really well. And that's the same thing in business, right? So if you have a really, really great, let's say marketing background, but you're not really good with finance, reach out to a peer. Exactly. Good in finance. That's the only way you're gonna level up. Okay. You can only go so far by yourself, but if you level up with people and your peers, you could do amazing things. So.
No, seriously, and that's it. The cross country is the great example right there. That brought two questions up in my head, but let's keep on the idea of the sports aspect, because I know there's kids that watch this video, kids that are in sports, people that have seen our videos before. With sports being a factor, something we're always into, how have you taken that drive, that that power aspect when you're in the cross country, you're on the track team? You kind of just mentioned how it is with the peers, where we're all coming together, we're trying to help someone to victory. How have you taken that same ambition, that drive, into your startups? Because like you just said, you had to reach out to everyone, so that's one thing. Then you had to continue, just keep going when, I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going to keep going. So what else with sports kind of helps you get to that next level?
Sports really, even now with most of my friends in text messages or just in person, we kind of use sports analogies in many aspects.
100%, right?
But you really don't realize, and it's so funny because you hear it when you're younger, but it doesn't make sense until you go older. When you really just
when
connect. You connect things backwards really when you kind of resonate and think about it. But as far as sports, I think the first one that I could think of how it translates into startups or business is, number one, when you do any sports, it's cross country, basketball, throwing, anything of that nature, you have a goal. Right? So it may be an individual goal, it might be a team goal, it might be a combination of the two, right? And say for example, we take cross country, for example, right? So our goal is to win the MassCAC championship within the season. And my individual goal is to come number one, right? Those go hand in hand. Right?
100%.
So you take that same aspect into startups or life or relationships or wherever you want to go with it, you're always going to have that main goal. Say for startups is hey, we want to get to, we're at 1,000 users now, let's get to 10,000 users. So that's our goal, right? That's our team, and we're going to work together to get there. My goal individually is, as the operations guy, person that puts everything together, we really don't use CEO, CTO kind of nature now. We kind of just use what you do day to day.
Gotcha.
That my aspect is to put us in the best situation to get to that talented users. So that would be connecting with radio stations, connecting with unsigned artists. So hand in hand is, I want to be the greatest operation guys that I can be. And I know we need to get as a team goal to 10,000 users, and those kind of go hand in hand.
100%.
And that's the same with sports. You're always going to have that individual goal, but at the same time, there's a great aspect of that team.
Exactly. That analogy. So us being back at Bridgewater State, the track team together, you can see where things kind of transpire the way they are, where you're pursuing your goal. Because, I always recommend someone to join a sport, but, what that instills into you, like you said, you might not realize it until a couple of years later. Where it's oh, wait a second, my coach used to say that, and now I can use it in the business field. And then you get so much farther in the business field because you don't give up. Oh, he always said that. You know what? This makes sense. So, I think at least the track team for us, but sports in general really bring you that analogy, bring you the drive, the ambition to pursue so many other routes. And I think that's something that everyone should realize, but I think kids today are really going to realize that as well, where, sports can provide you so much, but it can open so many doors for you just outside of a sports field, if you can look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely. And some of the people watching, they're like, hey guys, it's really great that you guys did sports, but just not my thing.
Yeah.
I would say to those people, any team aspects, you could have a chess team.
Exactly.
You could have any other time. So if you get yourself in some team environment, it doesn't have to be sports. I think you'll learn fundamentals and things that will make you grow, even though you don't know that it's happening. And it'll click. It'll click when you get older. You start to realize that. Now, I'm really excited to see, like when I'm saying we're building our peers, like how me and you are going to build together.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really excited to see, 5-10 years down the road when we look back.
Right.
Just to see, okay, even though we didn't know that we just met up and did a video, how that actually catapulted us into either different directions higher or together in the same
100%.
direction. So that'd be
exactly.
Cool.
You got to take that chance as well.
Yeah.
Now, when you were going over, school, sports, and everything, one thing that I think sticks out incredibly is, one, you got your bachelor's degree, two, you got your master's, but also you're someone, and you kind of mentioned already in the video, self-education is extremely key to you. That's been a very huge tool to me, and I think it's the way of the world. Self-education is becoming somewhat of the route to go for a lot of people because there's so much information at your disposal.
Yeah.
So tell us about schooling. You were a state school kid, right? I was too. You found so much strength and power in the fact that you're a state school kid, where it's like, a lot of people look at that as like, oh yeah, I only went here. Yeah. In my eyes, like, dude, I got that degree. I'm running with it regardless of where I go. What's your outlook on that for someone that might have that idea? That's
a really great question, and I've had, I won't call it a debate, I've had spirited conversations with a lot of people about this. Mainly my roommates and past roommates, they went to phenomenal schools, Bentley. Real phenomenal schools. I know people I've gone to internships, people went to Harvard and things of that nature. And I really think those schools are phenomenal. I think the people who come out of those are definitely phenomenal.
Definitely.
But to me, it always came as a personal drive.
Yeah. I get that.
So if you went to a state school or you went to a Bentley, or if you're self-educated, if you don't have that drive, if you don't have that, I want to learn more.
Exactly.
It's never gonna happen.
100%.
And so that's why I walk around with this. I walk around with a chip, but it's not one of those like, hey, I'm boasting around, but I have this chip on my shoulder being a state
I get
kid.
I get that.
I want to show you that, and I know you get this too. I want to show the world that we're just as good as the Harvards or the Bentleys. Because it's not like you could go into a room and a teacher can be teaching you, but if you don't have the hunger to know that knowledge, what good does it do you? You just pay $60,000 to take a nap.
Exactly. Even on that example right there, we pay so much money to go to these schools. What are you going to do with it? You're going to squander it and take that nap in class? Or are you going to take that information, run with it, so you can get to a level in life where you can pay it back? And then even grow even more so with wherever your life goes. But, state school kid, you go to a school outside, or you went to a D1 school. You had a phenomenal time there and everything, and then you got us going to Bridgewater. I find so much strength in the fact that we went to a state school. One, because we ran with the knowledge we got. There are people that won't use the knowledge, just you kind of just touched on. Some people won't use that knowledge. Their life will just go wherever life throws it. We took that knowledge, we did what we did for those 4 years, and we ran with it now, where we can take that information, grow that knowledge, grow that wisdom, and then create something, just as you're doing with your startup, just as I'm doing with my own startup right here. And look at that. That's that drive. That's a never-ending drive where it's like, I'm not going to let a title of a school hold me down. I'm going to move with this wherever I can. And when you take your own lock off the cage, oh my goodness, the door's open.
It's so open. And tell you a funny thing about Bridgewater. I don't think I ever did it on camera. I said it on camera.
Okay.
But so Bridgewater, when I the minute I saw Bridgewater was the last day I could put my like, I think it was, I forgot what the word is, where you just commit. So you put your your deposit down.
Exactly.
It was the last day.
Yeah.
So I was a basketball kid. I did cross country and basketball in high school.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to WPI. So that was my thing, WPI.
Yeah.
Right. So coach really liked me, came out and saw me play, and he was like, "Okay, let's get you in WPI."
Yeah.
Just applied to WPI. That was it. Out of college.
Yeah.
Just WPI. Mom was like, I want to get another one in there just in case. You know what I'm saying?
Safety school.
Safety school. Yeah. So I just applied to random schools. And I remember a couple people going to Bridgewater. So I was like, I heard great things. Let me just put that in there as well. So long story short, this now is at the end of the senior year, and all the letters are coming in.
Yeah.
At WPI comes in and goes, you got in, but you have to go to summer school because it's a very they're very high on math.
Prestigious school.
Yeah.
And
my math was it was normal, but it wasn't extraordinary. So we just go to summer school and then you just be in the school. Okay. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go to summer school. I'm graduating. I want to hang out.
Enjoy it, yeah.
So I'm going through all the letters and I'm like, okay, so I got into this school, I got into this school, I got into this school. I'm comparing, I'm like, Bridgewater has a lot of things. I could run there, I could go through seasons, and I don't want to be so heavy like a WPI where I'd be doing basketball and cross country at the same time. Yeah. And legit drove an hour and 10 minutes to Bridgewater from Lowell. Never seen it. I've only seen the brochures. Yeah. And it was on my birthday. May 1st was the last day because I still remember it because it was my birthday.
Exactly, yeah.
I pull up and I go straight to admissions. And I'm looking around. The lady's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "You here to put my deposit down?" And she goes, "Are you taking a tour?" "Nah, but
I'm good."
Yeah, I think we're good. And then looking, what was it now? 8 years later, I'm sitting here state school's the best thing you can do, guys.
Right?
Yeah,
so. It's crazy how it works out.
Yeah.
That's funny though. You here? I'll put my deposit down. You want a tour? Nah, you got beds. I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. Got a place to sleep. I'm good.
You guys got a cafeteria? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
You got food? Sleep? I'm good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it's true, man. We don't know where life's gonna go. Who knows what could happen if you went to the other school? You go to Bridgewater State, you create a drive, you grow everything like that. State school, it is what it is.
Yeah.
My story, I won't give the entire thing. I was kind of the same thing where, again, Bridgewater. I'm like, to my parents both went to Bridgewater. And so I wanted to go to UNH. I wanted to track there, I wanted to do everything there. I told everyone, I just want to find a school with chemistry, because I was a chemistry major starting out. We kind of talked about it a couple weeks ago. And then I just wanted to do track. I wanted to throw. Yeah. And then didn't get into that school. Did not have the grades for that school. And then now I learned like no other. But high school, a different game. But other schools, I get into here or there. Bridgewater, I was like, fine, whatever, I'll go. I go to Bridgewater. I did chemistry because, long story short, my goal in high school was to cure cancer. And I had an entire hypothesis on how to do it. Okay. Bridgewater didn't want to give me the time to do it. Totally fine. That brought me to psychology. And now I became a psych major. I ran with that, criminal justice minor. And psychology really taught me the mind and how the mind is all you need to cure cancer, diseases, and everything. That's why with all the life coaching I do now, motivational speaking, I teach the personal power, self-reliant route, because that's all we need. So if I continued to pursue schools with the chemistry major, who knows where I could have been? Yeah. I'd be in a lab right now, still trying to figure out my hypothesis. Now I've learned the true power, personal power we all have to run with, because that wall got put up. But Bridgewater State provided that for me. Yeah. So it's a state school. They provide you with the goals. They provide you with the strengths and everything you need. If you're someone watching this video right now, it's I don't have the money to go to these schools I want to go to. Stay local. Yeah. You got this. Just take your own drive and take that somewhere. And Bridgewater provided us so many opportunities.
So many opportunities. And I think what schools in general, I think, should be teaching you, besides the brand and the name tags of it, is just how to learn. Yeah. Because a lot of people think if I got my 4-year degree, that's it. I've learned the school system's over. That's not where it stops. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to go get an MBA or go get a grad degree. If you just know how to learn, that will teach you up for more success. And kind of to piggyback on that, and something you said where you kind of went into learning about psych and the mind thing. Yeah. And self-learning is, I just actually finished a book. I don't know if you ever read it, Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, I'm almost done with it now.
Yeah.
Literally in my bag right now.
I just returned to the library yesterday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We both read it. I just returned them in the library yesterday, and it's kind of one of those like I'm always constantly reading.
Yeah. Same here.
And reading that book, it was all about breaking it down that it all starts here.
Yeah.
It's your mindset.
Exactly.
You know, so it's your thoughts and your desires, and
Yeah.
and that's one of those things. If your mindset is to be successful, it doesn't matter what school you go to. It doesn't matter like, you know, where you started. It just matters that you have that drive and you're not gonna give up.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
that ties all back into, you know, that's how startups are.
100%. That's what I was just gonna say. You know, it doesn't matter where you go as long as that drive is created for you.
Yeah.
Everything's open, but you look at startups in general. That's how they're started.
Yeah.
I have the drive, which you learn from school. You learn how to learn.
Yeah.
You know, you learn that's all your mind putting the pieces into play. Which, if people can grasp that along with these startups, that's the combination right there.
Yeah.
If you have a no give up attitude, you understand where your mind can go, and if you can keep it directed on the right route, your business, your goal, your dream is going to be a success.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why when we do our startups, there's no giving up. We know where we're going. We learn every day. We're constantly reading, trying to bring more to people, bring more to ourselves. That's a combination for success.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of
And
course.
be patient. Be patient is the thing. You know, we learn all this information. We want to give it to people like, oh, I can do this right now. Your time's coming, but you got to put the work in. That's what the startup route is all about.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. Like you said, 4 years of working, 3 years of working, and we're still grinding.
Exactly.
Every day, because you know, like you have an end goal, and every day you just gotta come up to the batter's box and start swinging.
100%. If you do one step every day, no matter how big, no matter how small, you're gonna reach your goal.
Yeah.
That's the thing. As long as you don't move backwards.
Hopefully.
No, we don't move backwards. That's where your peers come in and take you up. Right?
Exactly.
That's why you build with your peers. But all right. So, in closing, what's a final message that you want to give to the people right now?
The final message I want to give to the people. That's a great question.
You've been everywhere. You've done the business route. You've done the management route. You've, like I said at the start of the video, you've held an incredible every area. You know the facets of this area. You got your bachelor's. You've got your master's.
Yeah.
You started Jamfuze with your buddy.
Yeah.
You're creating all these startups for people, just the videos, everything. You're trying to get this information out there. People watching this video have a question, say it's, all right, I have this idea, I have this goal, I get it, you guys sell this stuff, I don't know what my next step should be.
Yeah.
What should I do?
So I think if somebody's coming up and that's their first question, hey, I have this type of idea, was the kind of the first steps I would do.
Yeah.
I'll just tell them, go out
Yeah.
and whoever your idea is about, let's just say they want to start a soccer esports business, right?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So who are you going after? Soccer players? Are you going after the
target audience?
Yeah, the target. Are you going after the TVs that have to do or the social media that have to do? So it's always about who your target audience, and then go ask those people, is this something you need?
Yeah.
If there's no problem there.
Yeah.
If there's no problem there, nothing you're solving. So just start making sure that those pain points are there, and then build on top of that.
Exactly. So create the plan.
Yeah, exactly. Because you would hate to be, 3-4 years down the road, and now you're talking to your potential people that you want to go towards, and you're like, hey man, why don't you just ask us day one? You never needed it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and then kind of just to answer your question, one thing I would want to say, or is kind of my ending message, is literally building with peers. I think that has been my biggest strength, and something when I was younger I did well because it was team sports, but now I'm realizing business end it works really well, because when you reach out to my friend who that creation of Jamfuze came to him, right?
Yeah.
So I had that desire, hey, I'm doing business, let's talk things out. And then he brings that idea, right? Next is hey, I'm getting all this information and I'm spewing it out because I want to help, right? So I'm learning stuff, so I want to help, I want to give it back. And then seeing your videos and how well you're doing it, right? And we're like, oh, we're on the same path. Reaching out to you, hey, maybe we should collaborate, right?
Exactly.
And then when we do something, we're gonna meet somebody else, and
exactly.
So that's one thing you want to do. So if you want to go, deeper in life and farther in life, build with your peers, find people around you, because people are out there. Everybody, and we're in this age where everybody is passionate about something.
Exactly.
And we have the tools and access, and especially with social media. you can find anybody on social media now. I'm not saying they're gonna respond, but most of around your peers, they're checking social media. So most likely they will respond.
True.
Hit the DMs. Hit the DMs.
Exactly. No, it's so true though. Just take that first step. Create the plan, like you were saying. Create the plan, and then when you have your points, take steps on them.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a dead end, good. You find the next one. That no give up attitude, which we mentioned numerous times, but no, I think that's an incredible message that people should take and run with this video. Now, where can we find you?
Yeah, so if you're hitting on social media, Instagram, Twitter, you can find me at Stevie Wahome. And then if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, you can find me at Stephen Wahome with a PH. It's very important to do the PH.
I'll put it at the end of the video.
Yeah, I love the PH. Hit my DMs. I'll answer them as much as I can. I try to get to everybody.
Yeah.
And one thing I just kind of, I think we're talking about this off the camera here is, I was just checking my DMs and old teammate of mine reached out to me and we was just, hey, good stuff on the videos. You're putting out some really good content, and I was like, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate what you've been up to. And he goes, I played basketball, busted up my knee. And then actually did a startup. We raised $80,000. It never really got off the ground, but everything you're teaching is something that we went through.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave a lot of hope and validation that hey, like I said at the some point in this video, I'm just spewing out ideas and information that I'm learning real time and giving it back to you guys.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are doing out there, especially a lot of your peers. All you just have to do is look. Because there's a lot of people who will help you and will build with you and continue your journey.
It's true. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But guys, Stephen Wahome, he's been over the entire management area. He's got the business administration background. He's creating these videos for you guys. You can find him on his social media pages. I'm going to put that at the end of this. But reach out to him. He just put it out there to you. Direct message him. And if you have any questions about how you can work with your startup in a business field, heck, work with your startup on a goal, an idea, a dream. Message both of us for that matter, and we're more than happy to help you in any way we can. But guys, I thank you for tuning in to this message. This is not the last time you've seen Stephen Wahome.
Oh, no.
I can tell you this much. Before the video, we're going to try and get him up on in getting more speaking opportunities so you can actually go to see him. And that's something we're going to try and put out there for you guys where, like, oh, this video kind of worked out. See him in person, get the knowledge right there. That's something you can run with. That could be your first step. But look for that in the future. We're going to do another video in the near future because we're trying to move forward on everything we're pursuing. But guys, find them, like this message so we can get to more people. If this message impacted you or one of your buddies is trying to do a startup or whatever it may be, share it to them. Get this message out there to someone that needs it and hit that subscribe button so we can get that number up and get even more people that need this information. Thank you for tuning in. Stephen, thanks again, brother. It was awesome seeing you again.
I appreciate it. Hit those DMs.
Have a good one, guys.
I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there.